I want to know the best songs of 2023.
Without further ado, let's get into the best songs that I feel popular music had to offer in 2023. A somewhat mid-year, but like every year, it had its gems. Popular, The Weeknd, Madonna, and Playboi Carti.
They made a
On
song?
paper, this is an extremely bizarre collab that absolutely no one could have predicted. Madonna, the queen of pop, The Weeknd, one of the reigning pop kings at the forefront of the 80s revival, and Playboi Carti, one of the most distinctive rappers today, all coming together for a song that's actually not bad, but sounds nothing like you would expect. It sounds like a 2000s Pharrell type of sound. The chorus
How have I not heard of this song before? No mention of it.
is punchy. Playboi Carti has the most whimsical hook on the track, almost sounding like Bugs Bunny, while Madonna plays it straight. It's a song that I definitely respect.
Still.
Too many times do these disjointed collabs turn into complete disasters, but they pulled it off, and more importantly, it's definitely a song I enjoy, with the thought of the show it's attached to completely erased out of my mind. Karma, Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift had another year of cultural dominance in 2023, but I must say Midnights did not capture me as a full project. I liked and respected songs like Anti-Hero, but the album as a whole just sounded like wallpaper to me. And every now and then a fresh paint job would come along, and that was karma for me within this album. The way the song starts off with the distortion and the beat drops into this very airy and pretty synth pop with a melody that sticks like glue just sells me. The song is a bit quirky and also calls into question the laws of karma, but it is so Taylor Swift. She's obsessed with revenge, and I am convinced of her angle every time I hear this song. Like the amount of times I have walked around my house and randomly blurted out,
And I keep my side of the street clean.
Oh, she's taking it.
should be illegal. It's definitely one of the catchiest songs from Midnights. On My Mama, Victoria Monet. Victoria Monet has been endlessly working for a long time.
How he said, I'm a
As
mama.
many of you know, she is the pen behind a lot of big stars' hits, namely Ariana Grande. But she is also a very talented artist within her own right. First taking on a more eclectic sound, but this year she leaned all the way into the mainstream, doing a good job at it, paying homage to southern hip-hop and R&B, and reviving a classic song and turning it into the ultimate Feeling Myself anthem. It's a pick-me-up, and a sleek but forceful one. The Boy's a Liar, Pink Pantheress, and Ice Spice. 2023 was a massive breakout year for Ice Spice, and Pink Pantheress was at the helm of it all, deciding to allow Ice to throw a verse on her sad girl anthem. I've heard people say that the instrumental sounds like video game music, and they'd be correct, but it's so unique and all works very well. It's intricate, interesting, and such a unique crossover as well. I love Pink's emotional but almost robotic delivery, and Ice Spice's playful yet serious verse. Everything about this collaboration was right, and played well to both of these stars' strengths. It is still my favorite Ice Spice verse, by the way. What was I made for? Billie Eilish. This year was all about Barbie. I feel like it was cultural overload at some points. One thing that stuck out to me in particular though, is the backlash Billie Eilish got when it was announced that she would be featured on the soundtrack. Many wondering how her somber style would fit into the plastic world of Barbie. And well, Billie showed them how, by not only releasing a good song that ties into the movie well, but in my opinion, the best song on the soundtrack by far. It's simple enough, but effective. We too, Billie Eilish, want to know, what were we made for? I Remember Everything, Zach Bryan, and Casey Musgraves. Zach Bryan is one of the most standout breakout country stars of the year. In a sea of commercial bro country, Zach is a breath of fresh air, often writing about his personal experiences in a refined and clever way.
Yeah, I don't know who this is, man. I don't know who this is. I don't know who this is. I don't know who this is.
Both rock and country music. His breakout hit this year was alongside bona fide country star Casey Musgraves, where they trade lines about a love gone wrong and alcohol playing a part in it. It's a simple ballad, yes, but it is so heartfelt. And although Casey does a good performance, Zach is still the star of the show. A&W, Lana Del Rey. Lana Del Rey has been pumping out albums back to back over the past few years, hitting a new artistic stride with Norman Rockwell in 2019. But did you know there's a tunnel under Ocean Boulevard, marked an even more different creative turn, which saw Lana getting more personal, perhaps the most personal she has ever been. It is filled with some of her sharpest lyrics and some true left field production. A&W is not a song that follows traditional pop song structure, and is lengthy, but has a lively switch up in the middle of the song. It's by far one of the best and most interesting songs from a songwriting standpoint released this year, and one of the most interesting releases of Lana's career. Get Him Back, Olivia Rodrigo. I was not convinced of the Olivia Rodrigo hype in 2021. Of course, I understood her appeal, and I thought she had some good songs, but I'd be lying if I said I didn't feel like it all felt a bit overblown, and her debut album mostly got carried by the singles. Guts convinced me of Olivia's star power, but more importantly, her artistry as well. Obviously, it's not a perfect album, but I do think it is a drastic improvement over Sour in every way possible. I could not get over this rap rock anthem that sounds like a descendant of Loser by Beck and Peppered by the Butthole Surfers. Get Him Back is all the things that have encompassed Olivia Rodrigo and her artistry thus far. Heartbreak, angst, and anger. But the difference is she has fun on this song, and doesn't take herself too seriously. And it sure does pay off as one of her finest songs, and perhaps more low-key and underrated singles. At
Yeah, my head is spinning with those and emotions.
SZA, Kill Bill. Leave it up to SZA to make one of the biggest songs of the year to be about shamelessly offing her ex. It's chaotic, but it has some great storytelling. I feel like the song paints the picture perfectly, and that's why it's so gratifying. With the synth arpeggios and clean boom bap beat, it's also one of the more standout songs sonically this year. There's nothing on the radio that sounds like it. I love how she attacks the verses with the venom of a rapper, and then in the chorus she turns into an emotionally split singer. Snooze, SZA. 2023 was the year of SZA. After so many delays and setbacks, SOS arrived on a silver platter with music that everyone was eager to consume, transforming her from successful cult-following artist into a global
What has Justin
star.
Bieber become?
Even before SOS was officially released, she had various songs going viral, and perhaps it was unforeseen by most or people who weren't as aware of her before SOS came, but I always knew SZA would do well. She put in the groundwork for years and years on end. Control was a stellar album, and SOS is a more direct mainstream approach to SZA's artistry. One thing that can be said is SZA wore her heart on her sleeve. She's been angry, hurt, vulnerable, in all of the songs from SOS. Kill Bill was the obvious standout, due to its brass subject about offing an ex, but Snooze is completely different. It's one of those songs that are kind of sneaky and deceptive under the guise of being sweet. Admittedly, it was not one of my immediate standouts when first listening to SOS, and it's not even a song where I paid much attention to the lyrics, because I assumed it was a classic R&B love song in every sense of the categorization. Finally taking in the lyrics, and you realize that she opens the song by talking about how she'd off someone for her love interest. It's dramatic and slightly off-putting, but damn is it a great song. SZA's voice, the ad-libs, the melody, it's just infectious. Very classic R&B groove,
Just infectious.
but it's clearly one you can't lose with.
Is that it? I guess that was the best songs of 2023. I probably only heard of like one of them. I'm not sure, but what they make your playlist? Did you listen to these type of songs that this channel named? Don't forget to like and subscribe.